Welcome back to IGN Live at Comic-Con. I'm here with our comic guru, Joshua Yale, and we're both extremely excited about Captain Marvel hitting theaters next year. So who better to talk about the iconic hero than the writer of Captain Marvel's new origin comic, Margaret Stohl. Thanks so much for joining us, Margaret.
Hi.
Okay, really excited. So I read this comic recently. It is such a dark, heavy story that I wasn't expecting. But I mean, seriously, what better time for this to drop, right? It's Comic-Con time. How does that feel?
It's awesome. Only the first issue of Life of Captain Marvel has come out, which is our five-issue arc of her return to Origins, and the reception has been overwhelming. People have really connected with it, and that's always so gratifying.
Yeah, it was just, again, such an incredibly powerful story, incredibly dramatic, but not because of what was going on in her superhero life. It was her family life that really was that emotional gut punch in there. So what made you decide to take that approach?
We wanted to tell a really personal story, and we wanted to tell a relatable story. And Carol has kind of this nervous breakdown, panic attack reaction to Father's Day. And Carol has always had a really crappy relationship with her dad, and a lot of my readers know about that. But she sort of returns to a family home, a summer home, and has that experience where, like, you know, when you go home on vacation and suddenly you're instantly an adolescent again, and it's sort of the return to the scene of the crime and where all the bodies are buried. That's where it is, and she's no different than we are. So we've been exploring that.
So in addition to that, you know, there's that which epic chunk to the story, but towards the end, there's of course this unexpected twist where there's this pod thing goes into space and makes a baby, and we're just reading it.
Yeah,
we're what's going on here?
There?
Did she just have a space baby? Is this like 2001: A Space Odyssey? So I'm sure you can't tell us exactly what it is, but can you tell us what's going on there?
I can't tell you anything, you know that, but I can say that obviously, Carol is always juggling the sort of Kree aspect of her life and this sort of alien power aspect and her very human story. So Carol triggers something and sets something in motion that we will be dealing with for the rest of the arc.
Okay, so Carol has a complicated backstory. I want to know, where did you draw from? What influenced you for this one?
Well, I worked, before this, I worked on Black Widow novels, prose novels, and I found the same thing with Black Widow and Captain Marvel, which is you can look through 50 years of comics and find a through line that's sort of like what's the nature of their heart? What kind of questions are they about? And what's the search for? And that was really what I let guide me. And for Carol, a lot of it is about her family and being so different from them and saying, how can someone like me come from someone like you? How are we connected? Which is, by the way, how I feel and how I think everyone feels as they go out into the world. How do I make sense of this and where I come from and where I'm going? So that's part of it.
Yeah. And at the end of Avengers Infinity War, I don't know, should I spoil this? People have seen that movie, right?
You're fine.
I just want to be cautious.
You're
if you
good.
haven't seen it, look away now.
There's also
Spoiler
some stuff about
alert,
Voldemort, and there's
Voldemort, oh my gosh.
To get to, Darth Vader, there's some greatest hits.
So at the end, we get this little tease for Captain Marvel, and so next year we're going to get her movie, but what's it like to be telling this comic, when everyone is now she's on everybody's radar, if she wasn't before, is there any pressure there? What does that feel like? You're kind of prepping the world for Captain Marvel, the movie.
Okay, in the movie theater, right, when we get to that scene at the very end, the little bit, of you see the hollow star, I swear to you, I almost threw up. I did. I was so excited. It wasn't even the popcorn, which there was much. But I was like, holy crap! Because, Carol's been sort of she's been niche. She's been sort of Marvel niche, unleashed, waiting for her big day. So I'm super excited about it. I'm super excited to play a part in it. But also, can I just say, I could not love Brie Larson more. She's such a great spirit. Aside from being a great actress and everything, what a great spirit to trust a hero like that too. So it's really gratifying.
So there's so much tragedy in this first comic book. I'm wondering, what do you want people to get out of it? What are you trying to draw out of people?
I just want them to see Carol feel her human story, kind of. Someone from Marvel, one of my friends there, said, that it's sort of a Marvel saying that heroes, fly, but they have feet made out of clay. That's Marvel heroes, really earthbound feet. And he said, I can see the clay crumbling all over this issue. And I think that's what it's about, is just sort of that attachment. This is your hero. You know, she may not have the same journey as Peter Parker, you know, towards center stage, but this is really like, this is one of our heroes, and you're gonna love her.
And I feel like Captain Marvel has what at DC they might call the Superman problem of just she is so powerful. It's hard to find an obstacle that would really get in her way. But I love how you've like found problems that anyone would have a problem with. It's like dealing with your family.
Well, by the way, that's the truth to all of us, right? Is what really sets us back. It's really just, it's always in our heads. Like, it's always that for everyone. You know?
I have to agree with Joshua. We were discussing Captain Marvel, and I was just like, I don't know, like Captain Marvel's just like too perfect, man. Like when he was trying to sell me the comic book, and I was like, she's just too perfect. Like I've never related to her. And then I read that, and I was like, you gave her so much humanity. I mean, I guess that was what you were aiming for.
Well, I think that's like the best stuff, right?
Yeah.
For all of us is like in the uncomfortable space for us. Right? Like in the space where we all squirm and we all know what that feeling is like, and we all are negotiating with our families all the time. And I love my family, but I am always kind of trying to figure out how I fit into that and who I am and who they are. And I don't think you ever grow out of that. So yeah, I think it's relatable.
And one thing a lot of IGN fans will be happy to know about you is that you are the narrative director for Destiny 2 game.
I'm one of them.
And it's a game that a lot of us love. We all have we each have our guardians and everything. But you know,
A lot of Marvel Comics artists have been or hunters, and yeah.
Really? Okay. What's yours?
Hunter.
Hunter. Okay.
Nice, cool.
But I actually I love what they're doing right now. Jerry Dugan, one of a really truly great. He just came off of an epic Deadpool run.
Yeah.
Worked on the Forsaken, which is the next drop in Destiny. You know, our next big release. So we've had Mark Waid worked on the last expansion. So I've been increasingly bringing in people who really do, who also, aside from Bungie and Destiny, know how to build big franchises, build sticky characters. So that's one thing you might see more of, is a lot of that kind of world building expertise.
Real quick, at E3, we learned that Cade 6
Yeah.
toast. What was your reaction?
You know what? He's a great character. He is a sticky character, and I am never allowed to say anything about that. But I will say I've never seen Jason Harris, who's the sort of narrative lead on that. I've never seen people pour more love and craft into something. So shout out to my Bungie brothers and sisters, because it's really been they've been killing themselves on this.
Margaret,
Did you
it's
see
so
the
great to
shrine?
have you
Someone made a shrine.
Yes.
on. Oh, well, thank you so much for coming on. We really enjoyed having you, but we've got to take a quick break, unfortunately. But when we get back, we're taking a stroll down VR Lane with our friend Jack Ryan. Did I read that wrong? Anyways, don't go anywhere. Sorry.